I'm going to ask several members of my family what agriculture means to them.
To me, agriculture means how we get our food.
For me, agriculture became part of my life when I married my husband.
To me, agriculture has been a way of life since I was small. I grew up helping my grandparents and my dad on the farm, and now I've moved into the responsibility of planting and harvesting.
To me, agriculture means that farmers are somewhere out there working late nights and early mornings to provide food for all the families in America. To me, agriculture is how the grocery store is filled with food.
Agriculture is a community with a small population left.
Agriculture to me means diversity. Years ago, that's what brought different groups of people over to help pick crops and make America what it is today.
To me, agriculture is more than just growing of crops. It is cattle, poultry, horses, everything in a broader view. And that's the way I live.
To me, agriculture is family and a way of life.
Agriculture to me has been just my whole life, because my father was a farmer. So I started off being a farmer's daughter, and then I married a farmer, so now I'm a farmer's wife. Agriculture means everything to me. It's how I was raised, it's how I live, and it's just a way of life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
To me, agriculture means providing for others, in turn, providing for your own family.
The definition of agriculture is the science or practice of farming, the growing of crops, and the animals to provide food, wool, or other products.
I'm sitting here with my uncle, Dwayne Jackson, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the poultry industry.
I raise chickens for Purdue Farms. When we receive the birds, they're a day old, and we keep them about 58 days. They'll weigh about 8.5 pounds. It's 24 hours a day. You always have to be around in case you have trouble with the equipment or any problems with temperature in the houses. A lot of our poultry go to Chick-fil-A, Panera Bread, and a lot of grocery stores throughout the United States.
Thank you for telling us about the poultry industry. I'm sitting here with my grandma, and I want to ask her how agriculture has impacted her life.
It has impacted my life because I had always lived in town, and when I married your granddaddy, he farmed, or his family had always farmed, and so our first home, of course, was down on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a cultural shock out of sort, because all we had ever had, we did have a few chickens and dogs and things, but they had cows and they had pigs. And when he would have little pigs that needed help, he would bring them in to keep them warm or whatever. And then there was tobacco in the summer, and that was, of course, before a lot of this mechanism that helped with it. So it was labor intensive, and of course everybody in the family worked and helped all during the time. And as things went on, he was able to buy more machinery, and he increased his acreage and that sort of thing. And then we were able to build a house. And so, as it has happened, agriculture is, of course, the basis of my financial security, in that all his work and what he accumulated has been left for me in order for me to continue to live. So it has been a big part of my life now.
Well, thank you.
I'm up here with my dad this morning in the combine, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what it does.
This is a John Deere 9510 combine. Has a 20-foot head on it, used to cut all your grains, soybean, milo, wheat. Basically just use it twice a year in the when wheat's ready, late June into July, and then cut the fall grains starting in October, November.
About how much wheat do you cut with this?
I've planted about 50 acres this year.
Is it hard to drive this?
No, it's really quite easy. It's more intimidating as big as it is.
Now we're standing beside a no-till drill, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what it does.
This is a John Deere no-till drill. You can plant all your grains with it. I plant soybeans, the wheat, and you can plant milo. It's no-till, but you can plant conventional, have the land tilled up and plant, but it's made to plant right in behind your last crop and not disturb the land in it. It's 15 foot wide.
Can you show us how it plants?
These you see it now? First of all, you got this disc right here. It cuts through all your residue and the stubble, cuts a slot, and there's a boot on the bottom of this, the seed boot, and it makes a little small opening about 1 inch wide. And then back here on the back, it's got your press wheels that firm the seed in the ground, and this back wheel that actually covers the seed up.
Sounds like a process.
Yeah, it does a lot of processes in one pass. Makes quick work.
Could you tell us about the grain bins?
Yeah, this is what we store the grain in. You can probably see the auger on the top of the middle bin. You open it up in the middle, and it augers the grain inside. And then whenever you're going to sell your grain, the pieces on the bottom, you attach a motor down there, and it pulls the grain out the bottom, and you load it on your truck.
About how much grain do each of these bins store?
The two down there store approximately 3,700 bushels, and this one bigger one, it stores about 5,000 bushels.
Sounds like a lot of grain it can hold.
Yep.
Now we're going to walk over to the sprayer, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it.
This is a LMC brand chemical sprayer. It covers, with the booms extended, 67 foot, and the nozzles are spaced on 15 inches, so you get a fan coverage that actually overlap, so you cover all your weeds and crop. Make sure you get a good coverage.
Would you just use this one time, or would you need to spray the field multiple times?
No, it's usually multiple times. In the spring, you spray to kill all your weeds or burn down. That's your first spray. And after you plant, you spray again for pre-emergence on weeds, and probably about 2 more times. So use about 4 times on a crop, and sometimes 5, depending on in the fall. If you have insects, you have to spray again.
Well, thank you very much for telling us about this.
Promote local agriculture!